Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like the journey you've been on when it comes to certain things, you know. I was drawing, for like the Discord and like my YouTube and stuff like that. And some guy was like, "Oh, well, hey, like I was studying your like I was kind of looking at your liner and stuff like that." He's like, "How did you, like how do you process where to put things? Like how'd you get like your style?" And I was like, "Oh, like I like anatomy and I like Korean artists and manhwa and like all this stuff." And then in my opinion, like when it comes to like developing an art style, I think it's something that comes to you as opposed to you chasing something, you know? I think it's kind of like handwriting where like, at the end of the day, you can write in whatever language you want, but the better you work on your penmanship, it'll always be a bit more legible, you know? So I think that as long as you keep practicing like, just like making straight lines, accurately spacing your characters, like doesn't matter what language you're writing, it's always gonna be a little bit better, you know? I feel like art's the same way, where like whether you're studying rendering, you're hyperfixated on Sonic characters or whatever the case is, like, every time you draw and pick up the pencil or create or sculpt or whatever, it's going to translate into like the another skill, like, perspective and form and color theory, like it all kind of works together, you know? So I think the most important thing there is to like just keep doing something at least, and it might not be focused practice, but at least you're like actively stretching those muscles, you know? So that's just like a little 2 cents there, but then it got me thinking. I was like, man, like I've been drawing for so long, so often, where I can't remember why I started. Like I think for a lot of skills, as at least as Americans anyway, you know, we kind of draw to like achieve some kind of, or not just draw, but we kind of like work on skills to achieve some kind of like external goal. Like I'm an electrician, so I can make money one day. I'm a mechanic, so I can make money one day. I'm an influencer, so I can, get sponsored and make money one day. And I think art's no exception for a lot of people anyway. At least for me at the beginning. I remember playing League. I still play League of Legends. I'm not gonna say I'm better than that, but I remember when I was used to play League of Legends when I was like just starting, and like the splash art to me was so good, and it still is very good. It's even getting better every year. But when I saw these renders and like these crazy concepts for characters and like all these stuff, it really sparked that initial like, wow, art is kind of cool. Like I don't know how people make this stuff, and it might take me like 40 years, but like this is some really cool stuff. Like this is one of a kind. Like you can't generate something like this. Like this is like a very crazy level of skill, you know? And I think like that was the initial like, wow, I really recognize art as like something that's really interesting to me. And I remember reading a webtoon. It was God of High School, for those who know. That I don't think it even ended yet, but I remember reading it like 5 or 6 years ago. And just like the story, the art, like the pacing and the way it was just everything was so good and still is good. So I think that kind of really got me to like, okay, if I want to make a comic one day, maybe, or make some kind of whatever. So I guess I just need to work on my skills because I never drawn before, you know. Uh, so I think at this point I've probably been drawing for like between 7.5 and 8 years, but I spent the first 3 years kind of just like playing with it, you know. Cause I was like 22, like I didn't grow up making art. I was like an art scribbler kid, you know. I was like creative in my own way, but not like that. So I was kind of off and on in the military when I first started, and then I think when I was like 25, I took it a bit more serious, just because like I wanted to commit to something that wasn't required in my life, you know. So I started doing art just because I wanted to build like dedication of a skill, you know, because it takes like a lot of effort to like just stay consistent with anything, you know. And also, I like art. I think it's cool. And like one day, I was like, maybe I can be good enough to like render like League of Legends, or I can be part of like a Bethesda, or like, even like the waifu gacha games in South Korea or whatever. So I kind of just remember like not being good for a long time, like probably for like 6 years. I was garbage, but I just kind of kept going and going and going. I used to, try to do like perfect renders, and I used to try to like have the perfect anatomy for every sketch, and like, I just fail and fail over and over and over. Like that's how you grow. Like you gotta embrace the unknown, and typically that means you're gonna fail often, all the time. And yeah, it was disheartening. Like feeling like I was on something and I wanted to share it on social media, and I couldn't even do like I didn't have like the social media, skill to like kind of get in there, you know. And so I was like trying all this stuff. Like I think I went through the whole rigmarole. I've tried to change like art styles and chasing trends and like just like the normal art thing that people do. when they feel like they're getting like kind of decent, you know. So I was doing that for a while, and then like up until like today, until I was asked that question of like how I got like my or like how did I get so loose with my drawing and like how can I sketch so fast and all the blase blase and whatever. And I was thinking, I'm like, actually, I don't remember when I stopped caring about what my art looked like. Like, I care about it in the way where it's like, if I'm trying to practice or I'm trying to, like, get an idea down, I care that, like, I can execute just my skill in that way. And I, like, try to refine it. But, like, I don't really care too much how it's going to appear to other people, if that makes sense. Like, it's really, you guys, some of you guys might get what I'm trying to say. I might not be explaining it well, but, like, at a certain point, it's like, I think I was drawing like most people, at least when you start, to like get some kind of external validation, whether it be finance or accolades or reputation or whatever. I was drawing to get good enough to deserve that from others, you know? And I think, I don't know, like after a while, it's like I learned to enjoy the activity and I also learned to get into a focus state where like that is like the last thing on my mind when I start drawing. Like the only thing I'm thinking about is like, man, I'm having fun drawing. I want to try something else. I want to try different colors. I want to try different characters. I want to try different poses and foreshortening. Like I enjoy just doing it. You know, I've done it for so long and I do it so often. It's like it's fun to do. Like I can't. I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but like when you're being creative and like you're illustrating the subject matters that you like the most, when you're around people who not necessarily in that moment, but like when you're with people that you can share your art with genuinely, whether it be like friends, family, art mutuals, Discord servers, or whatever the case is, like when you hit that like perfect, no pressure, hard practice, consistent practice, share it with people who care, it's like you just kind of, at least for me, like I realized that like I don't think I really care about what my art looks like anymore. I don't really care about like if I'm not doing well that day or if I feel like I'm off my game. It's like the only thing I care about is staying consistent because at this point I'm not drawing to build that skill in that way. I'm drawing because if I don't, I feel like I didn't drink water for the day. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I actually hurt myself in some way. Like I like have to do it. It's something I really enjoy and it means something to me. And but not in a way where it's like if I don't do this, I'll never achieve my art goals anymore. It's like I don't think I actually ever had art goals. I think I had loose aspirations like a lot of us do, but I truly don't think I had an actual like when I can draw X at this speed and is recognized by this person, then I have achieved art. You know what I mean? I've achieved like the ideal, perfect, Kim Jong Gi, Loic, Mark Brunel. I've achieved what they've done, and but now that I'm at this point now, it's like I don't actually think there is a point to any of this. Like, not in a way where it's like art isn't worth pursuing. Like, I think that art changed my life for the better. I think I'm a better person. I think artists are great people. I think that like, I think that when you illustrate, when you work on any skill that's not required for you to live your life, like you have to force yourself to look inwards and work on the things that hold you back. You know what I mean? And that's a really vulnerable process that a lot of people aren't willing to go through. Like the fact that you're even watching this video, the fact that like you're even interested in art or even whatever, like you're in the strong minority of people who want to dig deeper into like what not even just like being a human is, but just to what is. You know what I mean? And I think art is one of those like skills that just help you see the world in a different way. You know what I mean? And but back to my point, like I think for me, like if I choose not to draw when I have the time to do it, I feel like I have robbed myself of an experience I can't replicate in the future, right? If I don't draw in this moment, then like 10 minutes from now when I draw for real, whatever I would have enlightened myself with 10 minutes ago is gone forever. And that could have been nothing. It could have been like maybe my mental framework of like how to put a body together changed or like whatever. Like I missed something really important, or even in the terms of life. Like I feel like if I don't draw, I feel like my peace of mind's all messed up. I feel like I'm not in a place where I can express myself to others properly. Like I can't communicate properly. Like it's like drawing is less so of like for me at this point, like it's less of like a skill that I'm trying to master. It's more of just like an extension of who I am. Like I if I don't do this, I'm lying to myself. Like I'm not being honest, you know? And but up until I said this out loud recently, it's like, whoa, like when did that actually happen? Like when did art become something more than just a skill? You know what I mean? It's like I think you know what I'm trying to say. But what's crazy is that what or another reason why I'm like talking about this now is like I remember kind of back to the Riot Games things. It's like I wanted to get a job, you know, I wanted to like have like a strong passive income. I wanted to be recognized. I wanted all this stuff. And then when I look at like, you know, just like videos of zeitgeist of like art jobs and, you know, what's going on with AI and all this stuff, like there's people who are industry professionals talking about like, yeah, even at the age of 40 or even at the age of like 60, drawn for 40 years, like you know, there's no job security. Like, you know, you gotta be the best of the best, and like, this is how you find gigs. This is how you, and then other people are talking about like, here's how to have the perfect commission sheet. Here's how to make the perfect video. Here's how to make the, you know, the best like community Instagram builder and like all this stuff. And like, it's all like, of course, like if that's like a strong side goal you have, like 100%, definitely follow guides of people who walked the path before. But like, ultimately, like, you know, even with people who like scam and stuff like that, it's kind of like I don't, for me personally, I don't think it's the fact that they're like being fraudulent, which is illegal, by the way. But it's not like that actually doesn't bother me that much. I think people are always gonna, there's always gonna be bad actors, and no matter what you do, there's gonna be bad teachers, bad firemen, bad policemen. It doesn't matter. There's always gonna be like bad people out there, or just people just choosing to take like not be good, you know. But I think what really bothers me the most when we see cases of it like that in any regard is like we're seeing people who just don't care about what that journey is. Like they're robbing. Like I feel like there's like a loss for the world. Like they're robbing themselves of what could be by acting in ways that seems much more short-sighted for immediate value. You know, and I think that like you know whether it be AI tracing, plagiarism, whatever online when it comes to art anyway, it's like again what bothers me the most is like you especially with people who started drawing and then they start resorting to different like tool assisting tools or whatever the case is. It's like I'm not like I understand why you do something like that. Like it's not I think you as a person like I don't think you're evil or malicious, but like it's just like but you and the world are losing so much by you choosing to fall into the narrative that like your effort and your voice and your inner like enlightenment doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like especially if you live in America, like everything is a grift, everything is a way to make a buck, you know what I mean? Like everything is just like so capital focused and it's like yes, I understand we need to live to like to be able to even illustrate. I get that. So there's obviously like push and pull. But like to get to the point where like you feel like your art is so worthless that like it's not even worth investing into because you don't see the immediate value because you'd rather just, you know, lie and make money like that. It's like, dude, like you're missing the whole thing. Like if you want to make money, just work a job, like a regular job. You know what I mean? Like if scamming people online with art is like, yes, it's a way to make money, but it's like, why would you go through all that? You know what I mean? Like this is the conversation is much more than that. It's like I wish I could tell everyone who felt very inadequate with the way they feel about their art. Like, you know, obviously I was there too. But like, it's hard to love yourself when you're making art because like it feels like no matter what you do, you post something that you're proud of, and immediately you see like 18 different posts at the same time from like kids half your age or industry professionals or you know VTubers or whatever the case is that like blows your art out the water, and then immediately you think that there's something wrong with you or that you will never be good enough like to be like them, right? And it's like that. Yes, I understand that feeling because I have felt that and I still feel that today. But it's like, you know, ironically, the only when you get, they're only there because they walked the path, and it just happened to open that door for them. But I can almost assure you, whether they were getting commissions or not, they would probably still be drawing anyway because they enjoy it, and the person they become requires them to continue pursuing that craft, no matter how long. It doesn't matter. Like it's not like purpose of like when do you get there. It's that like you kind of have to do it to stay sane at that point. You know what I mean? Like it's just who you are, and I want that for everyone. You know, like whether you're gonna be a dedicated artist or like you know a casual artist or whatever the case is. Like you know, it's hard to walk past those like learning curves because like for a long time, art's gonna feel like very like kind of like a slog, you know. It's gonna be like a gauntlet of like, you know, oh my God, I gotta get colors, I gotta get like how do you draw hands, I gotta watch 18 tutorials, and like I gotta like yes, it behooves you to do your research and to like, you know, apply your skill, study the skill, learn something new, apply the skill, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I'm like that. All of those things you're doing are very important. It's not even if you follow a template perfectly, you will you're not like learning how to draw. You know what I mean? Like you're learning how to copy one for one, which is even if you're not tracing, like that's still very impressive. Like in the same way that realism is impressive, where it's like that's a really strong skill. Like it's a crazy difficult skill, and when you master, you make a perfect photographic replica of whatever you're doing, which is like it's really cool. But also like there is an extent where I'm like I do think that like you know not that you need to draw without reference, like that's not true at all. I think that you should always have at least a loose reference of what you're doing so you can learn something new. If you're just doing the same thing over and over again, making the same mistake over and over again, you're not really learning. You're just kind of like repeating the same mistake over and over again, you know, which gets worse and worse over time. But um, like you have to at a certain point. There's no amount of tutorials. There's no amount of motivation from others. There's no amount of like any external factor beyond who you are as a person and what it means to you. And that can change over the years. I think that art is a consistent path of, or a constant path of like birth and rebirth. Like there's gonna be times where you're heavily motivated. There's gonna be times where you feel like your art's terrible. It's gonna be times where you feel like your art is a fantastic. Like you're kind of, and you're always, your style is always gonna be evolving. Like the way you perceive things, the way you process things, the way you put colors together, it's always gonna change. Like your art will never stay the same. And the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And the different, you'll do different kind of research, and you'll do different kind of studies, and you'll do different kind of projects, and like that's just how it goes. But again, none of that will happen if you don't acknowledge what art really is. And at the end of the day, it isn't really anything. It's just something that we do to explore. It can be art, it can be woodworking, it can be culinary efforts. It doesn't really matter. But it's really, I think it's really important that like if you're gonna embark on this journey, or if you are currently on this journey, or you feel like you're done, it's like this is something that like will never end. This is something that will always be something you're working on. This will be something that like at a certain point will be who you are. It's this is much bigger than just a paycheck, a follower count, a certain style or what. It's like this is beyond all of that, you know. And I guess I just want to say like I want you to take it seriously as I can or as I do. It's a little selfish, I know, but like it's I want to see who you become as a person when you go on this journey, you know, and like I want to assure you that, like, yeah, this journey is really uncomfortable, but the the moments when you feel like it all clicks, whether it be like the pose clicks, the model clicks, the whatever, like when you feel those clicks happen, like I'm telling you, it's this euphoric feeling of like banging your head against the wall and you finally break through, you know, like you just keep breaking through. And no matter how many times I draw personally, like when I feel like I've definitely hit like a certain like, okay, my anatomy can't get any better, I look at a muscle in relation to another muscle. I'm like, wait a minute, this is why this muscle always looks like that from this perspective. Like it just clicks, you know. And every time I feel a click, it just keeps me so excited. And I know it's like that for you too. When like you draw the same character you've been drawing for like 2 years, and they just look different all of a sudden. Like they look more like how you imagine them. Like it's such a cool feeling. And I'm so excited for those moments when people reach those things, man. I want that. I want to see that for you too, because like, you know, the world is a lot different. Like, you know, owning anything is hard. You know, feeling like you're valued is difficult. Feeling like you have time to spend with anybody. Feeling like you're disconnected and lonely because we talk through screens nowadays. There's a lot of things that kind of fake the feeling of being legit and real. And I think that this is one of the truest, uncorruptible ways that you can feel like you are evolving as a human and that you're connecting with others in a way that matters, you know. And I feel like a lot of us just kind of like either don't have the voice, don't know where to look, or whatever the case is. And of course I'm biased towards art and specifically digital illustration, even traditional for that matter, but you should get started, or you should keep going, or you're not done yet. You're not. Please keep pushing. It's hard. It's very frustrating. It's very difficult. But if you need a reminder, or you need a reason to get started, I'm telling you, you are missing out on so much of who you can be, of what you can feel, of what you can experience, of the joys of progressing, even the frustration of losing and failing. Like, don't get stuck on one drawing. If you're done with something when you're sketching, be done with it. Move on. And you don't have to be any other artist. Like, there's only one you. And there's only one artist who's going to illustrate like you. Don't be someone else. Just be you. Just learn the best that you can at the pace that you're able to do, in the space that you can. The followers don't matter. I know, like I know. This is as much for you as this for me, but like everything, nothing else actually matters. Even the art itself doesn't really matter. It's about you and what you can be, and like this is just one of the things in my life that I feel like have really changed me for the better and continuing to change me every day. And the people I've met and the opportunities that opened up to me, ironically, when I stopped chasing those things, they came to me. I started getting commissions. I started getting a community. I started getting the follower counts. But as soon as I stopped thinking about it, that's when it happened. You know what I mean? Because I'm so unapologetically doing what I want to do because it means something to me. And I know this means something to you if you're still here. So just relax. Like, fail often. Fail more than anyone else. Failures win at the end of the day. Losers quit. Just don't lose. Don't be a loser. Just be okay with learning, and be okay with the struggle. Be okay with being frustrated. Be okay with, but when I say be okay, don't not feel these things, but just communicate to people around you who care. Like, hey, yo, I've been trying to draw this thing. Like, I've been trying to draw the 3/4 perspective on this head, and this shit is fucking hard. And you're right, that shit is hard. It took me probably like 4 years to get used to it, and that wasn't even being good at it, but when I talk to people about it and they tell me how they feel about it, I feel a tiny bit better, and I want to try again. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's all about just the tiny improvements, and like just just have faith in yourself. We believe in you. Like, artists believe in you, and I hope you can share others with when they also fall and they struggle. But hearing the words of people getting back into art after like talking to me, or when I talk to them, it makes me motivated to draw in that moment, or whatever the case is. Like, we need each other, and you need yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, it's a really, like, if you're feeling isolated from the world, this is the first way to connect. Just look into art, try something new, whether it be painting, whether it be acrylic, sculpting, or whether it be even ASMR, or whatever the case is. Like, just connect, try something, like, get in there. Like, every day, if you're thinking about drawing, every day you don't do it, you're not being honest with yourself, and that's gonna be really frustrating for you. And eventually, you'll be at your wit's end, and you'll do something crazy, like, not like crazy, but like, you'll try a different hobby that you've tried before. You'll go back to the game you've been playing and wasting your time on, or whatever the case is. Like, I'm telling you, if you have the creative spirit and the desire to make art, it will never go away. It will haunt your dreams. You have to just get into it. I'm sorry. Like, you at least gotta taste it, or continue to taste it, or continue to refine it, or whatever you gotta do. Don't quit. Keep going. There is something incredible for you if you just keep going. And be honest with yourself. It's fine. It's okay to not be them. It's okay to not be him or her. It's okay to, like, not be the GOAT. It's okay to be okay at your art and just liking what you are doing, kind of. It's okay to admit that, you're still working on it, and that's fine. There's no expectations. There's no point to art. The point is that you're becoming a better person. That's what I want to see. So, maybe there's no point to this video either, but I get this on my chest, so I guess I just want to say it out loud. Maybe I can watch this video in the future, then I can feel motivated if I lose track of what I'm doing too, because we need to be reminded of these type of things, because the world's very loud. So just get to a quiet place and focus on yourself. I can't wait to see it.